Today we're podcasting. Welcome back to the podcast. We got the boys. They're coming to hang out with us for maybe 5 minutes while their dad's having a shower because he was in town. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah? Okay, well, you have to speak out loud. Yeah. So, you guys were just in Canada.
Yes.
You're back in the village now. What was your favorite, most exciting thing coming back to the village? I think that's what everybody wants to know. Hold the mic to your mouth.
My horse.
Oh, so use more words than that, hey? Were you really excited when you got
Riding my
here?
horse.
Yeah, did you jump out of the car when we first got here to find your horse? Okay. And you, Sevenaya?
Cows.
Cows? You would love your cows? All right, don't do that. So far, we've been back for, what, a week? And you've already gotten an ear infection, Seva, from swimming in the river. And do you have any injuries, Eliki, so far?
What?
Do you have any injuries so far?
No.
No? We're surviving. You have a few cuts on the feet. Are your guys' feet...
Here.
Is your guys' feet really soft now that you've been wearing shoes
No,
for a couple
look.
months?
It's not soft.
Well, you got a
My
big
foot's
cut.
not soft.
No, you can still walk bare feet.
Still not soft.
No? Seva, how are you?
Hard as a rock.
Hard as a rock those feet are? Seva, could you walk bare feet still down the road? Yeah? You still have your Fijian feet? And you guys made it back for guava season. You were very worried about that. Okay? Okay, you guys got to talk to me if you're going to be on here.
Yeah.
Okay, so how has school been going? We've gotten back to our routine for homeschooling. What is your best thing in school that we've been doing?
Games.
Games. We've been doing lots of games. Today we did a games day, so I bought them some games to
I won
learn
one game.
strategy.
2 games.
You won 2 games. I think it's pretty important to learn strategy for them, so that's something that we bought games to do with them. What's the other thing? What have we been learning in the mornings? We've been doing our Bible reading. My grandma gave them this really cool comic Bible that we've been going through, and we've just been going through Genesis right now. What did God create on day 1? The stress.
The light.
The light. That's right. So we're going through and getting them to do some
Day
memory
2 created
stuff.
the sky.
That's right.
Day 3 created the ocean.
Day 3. I always screw this one up, so I'm not gonna say.
He created the moon.
I think that's day 4.
Day 4. Yeah, day 3 is the ocean. And
It's the land and the water. Yeah. And then day
4
4 is the planets. I always
the
mix those
planet,
ones up.
the sun, the moon, and the stars.
Yeah. And then day 5.
Day 5 created the animals.
The animals in the ocean,
Yeah,
right?
the ocean.
And then the birds in the sky.
And the birds in the sky. Day 6, he created
Animals
the
on
animals
land. And what else?
And his greatest creation, Adam and Eve in his own image.
That's right. And we've been talking about what does image mean?
It means looking in a mirror, like at yourself.
So like when you look in the mirror, you can see that God made you, and you look like God, right?
And on day 7,
what did God do on day 7, Seva? Yeah, that's right.
relax.
That's right. He relaxed on day 7. So that's why when we have Sunday, we relax on day 7. So that looks different to everybody. Some people absolutely do absolutely nothing. Other people relax with things that they enjoy doing. It's not that you have to relax on Sunday day. It's just that God is saying, have a day of the week where you take a break. Don't work yourself into the ground. Have some rest, because all the things in the Bible that God talks to us about is to allow us to be better people, for us to thrive. So he gives us laws and commands for us to thrive, not to be a dictator, right? Yeah. Anyway, so these guys are going to go head off and play some rugby. Are you all done? No? You're going to hang out with me for a little while longer? Yeah. Okay, so while we were in Canada, so the boys have, Seva, you can come show people what you're doing. Seva's running around. You want to show people? No? Seva's got a slingshot in the back. He's obsessed with the slingshot. So, Seva, no, not by people. You can't do that.
He's shooting it away.
No, you can't do that. That's towards people.
He's shooting it over there.
Yes, Mom is the answer. Thank you. Go on. So what was your favorite thing we did in Canada while we were away? We were away for 2.5 months. You stayed with my sister, Auntie Charity, for a month. Eliki, how was that? Earth to Eliki. Or you can go. Hey?
Son to mom.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, exactly. What was your favorite thing we did in Canada? We were away for 2.5 months. You don't have anything? We went to a trampoline park. We went skating.
Yeah, trampoline park.
That was your favorite thing? And what were you doing at the trampoline park?
Jumping.
And what was your best trick?
Somersault and landing on my feet.
Okay. Well, people can't hear you if you don't speak into the mic, so they don't know. what you
Somersault
did.
and land on my feet.
Somersaults and landing on your feet. Okay, good. All right, your dad's going to join us, so you guys got to get out of here. Oh, yeah, come on. Come on.
Bye.
Goodbye.
No.
Oh, leave your mic on.
Oh, yeah, check my mic.
John's all done showering, so he's going to join me. Okay, we'll see you guys later. I think we are live today, so if you guys have any questions, throw them up on the comments, and we'd love to answer them. I have personally been away for 2.5 months, so I'm kind of back to factory white settings. I do get a little whiter than this, so I'm trying to put on lots of sunscreen while I'm here and stay out of the sun. We were supposed to go fishing tomorrow, but unfortunately it was raining and we got canceled. So, hey guys, make sure that it doesn't point at any people, right? Right? Okay. They're going to go practice with their slingshot, which is a little dangerous, but also fun.
Mic check. I'm not blowing out the mic, am I? So, 8 minutes ago, Richie Mwanga liked one of our posts,
Who is that?
which is cool. He's a I guess a famous rugby player, All
Okay.
Blacks rugby player.
Oh, okay.
He liked the. It's cool. It's cool because social media closes the gap between us and you guys, and allows for us also to interact with people that we never thought we would have the chance to interact with, like one of the best New Zealand All Blacks of all time. That does not change my stance on the All Blacks, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool that a guy like him. I had a notification come up on my phone. It's like, Richie Mong, I like your post. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. It was the one with Serevi talking about his son.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just kind of random.
Is it though?
What's that?
Is it random at all? Like a rugby player liking another famous rugby player's
Oh, yeah.
post? Not
That's
that
true.
random, guys.
That's true.
Like,
That's true.
I feel like Serevi has the hearts of all rugby players, and so they're just gonna like this stuff.
Ooh, can you pass me that?
Oh, sure.
I've had 0 water today.
And you're just adding more coffee.
Oh yeah,
It's great.
I'm buzzing.
John and I have been eating keto for a week. We're just trying to get into shape and eat healthier while we're in Fiji. So there's lack of food and things that you can have in town. John was just in town all day, so it's a little bit harder. And I was home all day, and I still was struggling with it. So what? Just hated that? What? What?
I'm coming off of a long day in town,
Okay.
and it's been great. Spent all the money,
Yeah, all the
And-
money.
left with so much money in the bank. It's great. It's great. Me and Tui stayed up also really late last night, creating a new series for everybody. Yeah, it's gonna be called It's Messy, and so it's the whole point of it is that we're answering questions that are maybe not common to be answering on social media, and so yeah, we stayed up until like 1 o'clock last night, and then that's why I'm running on straight caffeine today. Straight caffeine. I'm trying to find something because I had something to talk about here.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, what were you doing in town today?
I was paying our lease payments, took the truck for servicing, taking out money for payroll. Yeah, it was good.
What was?
Literally spent all the money.
I feel like when we leave the truck for like a month, every time we come back, the truck's like falling apart, just sitting there stationary. Remember the one time we came back and all of the like tint on the windows had like rippled? It was all like bubbly, and we had to replace all the tint. And this time the clutch
Yeah.
and the brakes have been acting up. It's like expensive to leave the truck for a month without someone driving it. You're risking it either way. If you leave it with someone to drive it, you
Oh,
might come
yeah,
back
for
to
sure,
no
for
vehicle.
sure.
And if you leave it sitting, then you're just going to come back to a little bit of a rusty bucket for a while. So it's going to cost you.
How do you feel saying that kind of stuff?
What? It's going to cost you?
I got into that, right?
Why?
You're like, it's going to cost you.
It
And you
is.
just hope I take over from there?
Well, I can help if you just are suffering with your life today. Not my problem. I've
I'm
been
going to
home
troll
all
you for a bit.
day.
It's been a while since
Go ahead,
I trolled
enjoy.
you.
That's fine. Enjoy that. It's
I
up
like
to
your
you.
hair, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's up.
It's up. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. He likes if I wear my hair like big and floofy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also have makeup on today, which is melting. I was literally cutting
Can I
onions
just
in
squeeze
there.
your cheek for a
No,
bit?
do not.
Straight. Let
Don't
me
touch
squeeze your
me.
cheek.
Let me squeeze your cheek.
Go ahead.
Enjoy that.
My butt cheek. It's Friday. Ooh.
Wow. Just
Pause.
vicious.
Pause the live. Pause the live.
Yeah, pause the live. Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
So, kind of, sorry guys for the random start to the live and to the podcast, because I had just literally got in the door. I was coming down the road, and then we ran out of cassava at the coffee shop, so I picked up a load of cassava and took it back to the coffee shop.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, coffee shop always takes a little bit more time.
Yeah,
Then
because
you-
he's got to get that. What did we decide to call it? Iced Canadiana.
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
because yeah,
That's so funny.
Yeah, because the world is anti-America right now. We're not gonna
And
call
we're
it
from Canada.
an iced Americano anymore. Apparently, that's a thing in Canada that's
In
happening
Canada,
right now. So an
all
iced
the coffee
Americano
shops.
being a shot of espresso on ice with water, being no longer called that because we don't like America.
That's what I like. I don't really care, but I thought it was funny. Every day in Canada, all the coffee shops are switching it to a Canadiana.
You know, you kind of look like a. What? I'm just looking at you. You kind of look like
So much judgment in your eyes.
a kung fu monk or something
Yeah.
like that.
So back off, because I will slap you.
No, look at those pants, like the parachute
They're like
pants.
monk pants.
Yeah, they kind of are.
Ah,
Right?
they're the most comfy thing in the world. So
Maybe that's why monks are so chill.
yeah, maybe that's why they're relaxed.
Yeah,
Just everything's
hanging loose.
flowing. Yeah.
Oh, Nana's angry. The kids are shooting chickens in the background. And nice, very not impressed.
Yeah. So
Who gave them that?
yeah, it's your fault. You bought it for hunting chickens. So the kids just learn from their dad. You only blame yourself. Oh my gosh. There's like 4 of them running around like little savage children just out to, and Harley's joining them.
Yeah,
So
this is great. Get the dog involved.
that's all right.
So one thing that we were talking about yesterday during the It's Messy recording that we were
Okay.
doing is, like, what was one of the questions? The one that I'm thinking of was, what's something that you used to do that you don't do anymore? Or something along those lines that you miss doing? Or what was the best era of your life? And I was thinking about how when we were young, we used to go longboarding and just sit downtown.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
And what was interesting about that question was it made me think about a time where we actually like really didn't enjoy our lives that much.
Why?
No, like we were never like satisfied in being in that place.
Oh, like
Or
that apartment?
That apartment, or just like we were always like focused on what was next, you know?
It's
And that's
funny
just
because I
so
don't
life.
look at that era like that. I remember being like, I look back at that era being like, I was pretty satisfied. We're just working, chilling.
Huh.
I don't look at it like I was waiting for the next thing. I never remember thinking that. I feel like you are constantly
Yeah, well, because-
unsatisfied with your life and always want the next thing.
Well, because you were waitressing, I was working in the automotive stuff. And so I was very much so in the like apprentice,
Yeah.
like level 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, and like trying to check off my hours so I could get to the next level.
Well, and that's
like, I
a
was
hard
literally
stage
in a
for
leveling
you
system.
because you make no money, like you make very little money doing it,
Yeah,
and then the schooling's hard, and you're just working your way through things.
yeah, yeah.
Where like I'd already been in the same career, if you can call waitressing a career, I think you can, for 6 years. What? Can you not? Some people are lifers. Some people do it for life. People in Fiji, they go to university to be trained for hotels. I don't see why you can't. And it's actually a very hard job. It's not for the weak. It is a hard job.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got a chicken.
Yeah, good. Kill the
Okay,
chicken.
well, someone has to eat it now, right?
Third. Is it? Okay.
Okay, then go take it so they can eat it.
Yeah, take it.
Yeah, take it, Tante Richelli.
So me and you were literally talking about the other day,
Dinner.
last night, about how fun it was recording stuff because there's so little distractions. And I struggle so much with
At night.
doing this right now with the kids running around
Yeah.
and then Nana yelling at them in the background.
Yeah, it's part of life, I guess.
Oh.
Anyway, back to the conversation. I think my favorite era outside of what you were talking about must have been like, maybe like when I was like 10 to 12. This is like a random time in my life, but like there was literally no concerns. I had no boy drama. School is really easy, and I was just playing sports. I was just playing like a lot of sports, like aggressively, and like to the point where my parents were like, we need to cut down on how many sports like you're in. But I was just like busy every single day with a different sport, and I felt like I was really good at all of it, and it was fun, and it was just like, I don't know. And you go home and you have like zero responsibilities, and you're just like, chill.
No, I just hated school so much. Yeah, maybe that's the problem with me. I've just never been satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no contentment in you. You're always like, can't wait.
Let's dive into that.
Yeah? Okay. What's wrong with you? What makes you unsatisfied with points of your life? Like, what makes you look at the negative and not the positive? Like, currently, you're unsatisfied this week. Like, so unsatisfied. To the point where I'm like, ooh, you're a tough person to, like, talk to. And I feel pretty, like, joyful. I don't know. Which I feel like I shouldn't be. I normally am the harder one to integrate back into Fiji. I am definitely very hot and uncomfortable and
You're super
burning
hot.
when I go. I'm super hot. But I think it's just like a, I don't know. I'm happy to be back. I've been gone for so long.
Yeah. See, I feel like the longer I'm gone sometimes, the harder it is to come back. Because, maybe it's just because there's so many things to, like, take care of.
Yeah,
Like,
but,
come
like-
back and, like, the battery's dead on the tractor, there's this, there's that.
Yeah.
There's, like, it's just, like, I don't know. It's just overwhelming once in a while.
John's in a funk.
Yeah. Do you guys ever get in funks? I wonder if people ever get in funks, or am I the only one that ever gets in a funk?
No, I was like in a funk last year. Remember, we had like a lot of opportunities come up, and we were in like this waiting period, and then we had a lot of our opportunities change direction completely.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like mad depressed, like so depressed that you were like, I've never even seen you like this before. Because normally I'm like the optimistic, positive one in our relationship.
Yeah, that really took it all out of you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like okay, we're going to have forward momentum, and now we're changing, and we're back to, like, we have no idea what we're doing. And then we're changing it again. And it was just, like, soul-crushing because you start a dream, and I'm very good at, like, dreaming and planning, but I just want to go and do something. I don't want to sit in the dreaming, planning stage forever. I want action. And inaction makes me depressed.
Yeah.
Like, doing nothing, like, drains my soul of life. So even if it's stressful, give me the stress. Don't give me the
Oh, it's
monotony.
way better.
Yeah, way better.
When you're stressed, you wish to not be stressed, and then you're broke. And then
Yeah, that
when you're
sucks.
broke, you want to be stressed.
Yeah.
But it's
Well, like,
interesting that I correlate stress with making money.
Well,
It just seems to be the way that it goes, right?
Yeah. Well, like my brother always says about my parents, like that they thrive under stress, like that they crave stress and anxiety because like that's their like flourishing point. And I think like that's true for us a little bit. I think under stress, like we thrive more. I think without stress, both of us, the stagnancy of it all just kind of like weighs us down and we feel like we're not accomplishing things that we should be doing more, that like, you know, we're like self-loathing in that monotony. And then it just leads to kind of like this mild down, depressed state of like, ugh, we should be doing more, you know? So I think like that stress of like, I don't know, and anxiousness of like, I have to get all this accomplished and like starting to like work hard. Like, remember when we like first, Tui moved in with us and we were like all in this like really aggressive workflow where we're like working late at night and we're always doing stuff like that? That was a good time.
Leaky, don't please. Don't. The rock will go up and it'll come down.
Yeah, no more, guys.
Can you bring me my slingshot, please?
Hey,
Thank
bring
you.
it here. No, they're trying to shoot bats out of the sky.
The problem is that I have a vehicle parked here, and
Yeah.
they're just shooting stones straight into the air,
Yeah.
like straight up. And it never actually goes straight up.
It's going to launch into his truck, and then he just spent a lot of money on fixing it. And then John will have a mental breakdown on our
The worst part
children.
is you go and you spend like $500 and it looks the exact same and drives the exact same
And
as it
it-
did 5 hours ago.
And you know what's worse for John is that he just spent a couple hours like washing the truck the other day, and now it's muddy.
Yeah, I've kind of come to terms with that though. For those of you who are aware of rural Fiji and the dirt situation, if you do not get the dirt off of a white vehicle, especially the red mud, it will never come off. It'll be stained forever.
So in saying that, if you move to Fiji and you go to buy a vehicle and you're not in the city, do not buy a white vehicle. It is a life mistake.
Well, yeah, but then it's impossible to look after a dark vehicle too. No, but silver is the best color. Silver is the best color.
John just said, you're screwed either way.
Well, you are screwed with white or black. I've had lots of dark vehicles,
Yeah,
and
I'm
they
not
suck.
saying white or black. There is like a colorful rainbow of colors that you can get your car in, dude. John and I only buy white, black vehicles.
Yeah,
Don't know
even
what
though
it
we try
is.
not to. That's
We
just
don't
the way
even
it
like
seems.
white or black. Just like, I just bought a car in Canada. It's black. It's black. It has to be black. We've never owned a different color.
Forest green,
Oh, but that was a gift. That was like given to me.
purple.
Oh, okay, I'm wrong. I lied. Actually, I'm like off. I was thinking about all the other vehicles we've owned.
The Subaru and the Mazda.
Yeah, the Subaru. Okay, we owned like a blurple colored truck, which we really loved.
It's like blue and purple.
Yeah, and then we did have a forest green Tacoma. So I
Yeah.
guess I'm wrong. But everything else we've gone to purchase, I guess, black and white.
True.
Yeah, but those were good. I love those the most, actually.
The what?
The purple vehicle and the green one.
Yeah.
I hated the other cars. We should
Yeah.
never go back to black and white.
Well, I think the thing is like you should just only drive Toyotas.
What first Tacoma year model was it?
Is a '96 pickup.
Yeah.
Or no, it was a '96 Tacoma.
Tacoma.
It's
It
the
was
first gen,
bucket
first year,
seats.
2-door pickup.
Perfect paint. John would have a hernia if it got like a little scratch on it. One time our friend borrowed it and his belt buckle came up against it and scratched it. And the guy didn't tell us and John saw it and had like a mental breakdown.
Who's this?
Can't remember his name, but I just remember you coming home and there was like a belt buckle like
shoot.
scratched in the truck and you were like, okay. That was we were talking about how do you allow people to use things of yours that aren't responsible with it, but also have like a spirit of generosity, you know?
Oh,
And
yeah,
when
right.
it comes back to you and it's damaged, not to be like crazy angry and vindictive.
Yeah, that's kind of why I had to sell that truck.
Yeah, I was so happy. The next vehicle we bought, the purple one, had like so many scratches on it. I was so
Dents.
happy. That sounds so messed up, but I was like, John will relax. It's already dented. It's already scratched. He has nothing to like freak out about.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah, I was with a guy today that has a very decent sized business in Fiji, and like through the pandemic and stuff like that, it was tough. I think for them, their payroll costs were very high, and bills were not getting paid, and like it did not. It sounded like when we would meet up with him, it was like, oh, I never want to be you. That's what I would think. It was like, I'm not jealous of your life at all. Like
Oh.
with all of the high costs that he had with the company and stuff. But then like, I met him today and like he's driving like a new Ford something or other, like a high-end Ranger. And he's going to ASCO to look at 2 new Hiluxes. And I'm like, man, like, I guess you pay for
The stress.
the stress, right?
Always.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess just in that line of work, it's a company that they have lots of machinery. I'll just say that. They have lots of machinery on the go. And so machinery and stuff, like businesses that have like heaps of engines and wear and tear and stuff like that.
Like the overhead is crazy.
Yeah, and like breakdowns. Like he'll have a breakdown up in Undu Point, and then he has a breakdown on the other side of Nateo Bay, and it's just like endless.
Yeah.
Endless. And then he has to like bring a part to Lambasa to like get it drilled out. It's like,
True.
he literally needed a drill bit that was the size of the top of this coffee cup.
Okay.
And he had a drill bit that was the size of the bottom of it. Like, that's a huge drill bit. And so he's just like, I just didn't. He's like, I have a drill press sitting in a container that I haven't unpacked yet, but I just didn't have time to. We haven't got it out. We haven't craned it out of the. I'm like, everything is just on like, there's just problems all over.
Now, there's problems in every business. Like our cleaning company in Canada, I started it, and like, it's always had its issues, like no staff or people are just crazy. And you hire them and they have to go into your clients' homes and like they say weird things to your clients and then your clients email you and you're like,
Like what? What's one thing that has happened? You can talk about this.
I had like a lady
Okay, Steph.
that I was training, my first employee, this is a good example. I was training her.
These are stories of what happens. These are awkward stories of what happens inside of our businesses.
Sure. So this one lady I was training, and she was cleaning for the first week, and so part of the job when you train someone to clean is you have to critique their work and show them how to do better quality, and everything has to be detailed because our clients are paying a premium, and it's a big deal. And I told her, okay, come here, just bend down and take a look at what I'm seeing, so you can see all the crumbs on the counter. You have to come down to eye level. And then she was saying to me, no, I'm not going to do that. And I said, no, you have to just come over here. So, you know, I'm not just talking to you and you don't know what I'm talking about. Just come over and take a look at this. And then she started to yell at me in the client's house. And the client and her kid were home.
What?
And so I remember just being like mortified and didn't really know how to deal with it. Because I think this is when I first started the business. So I was 21. And I just kind of panicked a little bit. And I started like whisper yelling back at her, being like, stop yelling at me. Like, if you want to yell
I
at
don't
me, let's
remember
go
this.
outside. This was a lady named Anita, my first lady I ever hired.
Oh, Anita was a
Yeah.
psycho. Yeah.
And I remember just being like, okay, I don't know what to do. And leaving and taking her outside, and we had this big fight because she didn't like that I was younger than her and trying to instruct her. I think that was the root of the issue.
Oh.
And I just remember being like, okay, and I had to let her go after that. And that was really awkward.
Then she went and started her own company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine. They got it.
Yeah.
It didn't matter to me. But I've had lots of weird, awkward situations in cleaning. Like one time I was cleaning someone's house. They just moved in, a long-term client, and I started washing their shower, and then all the glass, like in Canada, most of the showers are fully made out of glass, like surrounding, and the entire glass shattered on my head. The entire wall of glass just burst.
Oh yeah, I remember
And there
this,
was no
yes.
more glass.
Yes.
And I just started crying because I remember being like, this is going to be so expensive. And I hadn't done anything. I had just literally like washed it. And the client was really fine about it.
Yeah, they're actually really cool
They're
about
really
it.
cool about it.
Yeah.
And, okay, and then my last thing, this is not to do with staffing, but my other big mistake. This is my favorite thing that I've made all the big mistakes actually in our business. Like horrible cleaning mistakes when I was young, because now if someone makes a mistake, I'm like, yeah, I've done worse. I can't even be mad at them. I was ironing someone's bed sheets for a rental, and as I put it down
Which is
on
ironic,
the
'cause
ironing
I don't
board.
think you've ironed anything in your life.
Not for you.
Not for me. Yeah.
And then I was like leaving the room and I accidentally hit the ironing board and the iron fell over and seared into the carpet. It like
Okay, that's pretty bad.
like melted an iron hole into the carpet.
And carpet is not like cloth. Carpet is kind of, it's made of, like it's
Glue?
almost like plastic.
And
Yeah.
so it just had like the carpet now just had a big stain that looked
Stain?
like a
burn
hole
mark.
into the carpet that was an iron shape. And I just remember being like, okay, luckily at that time I'd been doing the business for 6 years, and so I didn't even panic. I went, call my carpet guy. So I literally called my carpet guy because you start collecting business contacts in the same industry, and I just, hey, can you come over here today? I need you to rip out this piece of carpet. And he said, oh yeah, I can do that. So what we'll do, he said, is I'm gonna rip this piece out of carpet. We'll go into the closet. We'll rip the same size from the closet, replace it there, and then I'll get a closely matching piece of carpet. We'll put it back in the closet. Nobody will notice. Obviously, I told my client what happened, but I had a solution right away. I went, I screwed up, but this is what we're gonna do. And they didn't care. They were like, oh, perfect, you've already solved the issue that you created. So it's like, yes, don't hate me. And actually, after that, we still worked for them for about 5 more years, I think, until they sold the property. So it was embarrassing, but it was fun.
What's the lesson for everybody in that whole thing?
If you make a mistake, try to figure out how to fix it, and then own up to what you did. Don't hide it. That would have been the worst thing, to hide it. Because if I hid it and they found out, they would have been like, you're a slimy human being, even though I just fixed it. I told them I had a solution. Nobody panicked. It got fixed, and they went, oh, you're pretty honest. And they kept working with me. So I think that was my takeaway.
Wasn't there, oh, no, I'm thinking of something else.
What?
No, it was just, no, I guess for that situation, it's like, a good thing is to not just, people don't want to hear about problems. They
Yeah.
just want to hear about solutions.
Yeah. They don't want you calling them and saying, I burned a hole in your rug.
I don't know what to.
What should we do? And they're like, I have no idea what we should be doing. But you got to know people. You got to create just like a contact list that you can call people in emergencies. Like I had a client once, somebody supposedly scratched her table. She called me, said, I think one of your cleaners scratched my table. And I said, oh, don't worry. I'll call my French polisher. He'll come fix the table. Oh, you know a French polisher? Yeah. And then we just fixed it. And she was like, wow, you're so amazing. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. I just paid a guy to fix her table. But I just solved the problem right away because I have a list of references and like referrals that I can go, oh, we have an issue. Okay, well, I know everything about housing. This is what we do.
There's power in it,
Yeah.
in
it's
problem
good.
solving.
But you got to find good people. You don't want to find crappy people that you refer your customers to. You got to make sure you find those good contacts. So.
I was listening to a guy on the way home today, and he was talking about like the power of, rather than telling somebody what they need when it comes to sales and stuff like that, or why your product works so good, or why your service would help them make more money, it's way more powerful to explain to a person their problem better than they understand their problem.
Okay.
And so instead of saying, okay, let me make an explanation. How can I explain this? We are the best carpet cleaners in like Kelowna, right? It's like, that could be your sales pitch.
Okay.
Like say on a banner that you put ad revenue behind to advertise, right?
Okay.
But it's like, what's better is you just spilled wine, we can take out the wine out of your carpet.
Oh, okay. Did you just spill wine on your rug? We can get that out for you.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Like
makes
instead of
sense.
like, or say in our case with Wacom Media, we know how to tell a story.
Okay, so
Right.
the
We know how to get
the
your
better
views.
slogan would be, you have an amazing story to tell.
No,
No?
the better slogan would be, you have a story, when you tell your story, it gets no views.
Okay.
You're afraid to make videos. When you make videos, they get no views. Let us tell the story.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Because people, right?
Yeah.
Instead of people just being like, oh, it's just another ad.
And I'm gonna
It's like,
say,
oh, I can speak directly to your problem, and that's not the part where you explain their problem to them better than they know it. But then, if you get the call, then you can go into more detail with them.
I'm gonna say, like, being a business owner in any country is really hard because when you go into business, you don't go into business to be a content creator. And then nowadays, like when you own a company, you have to do all your own advertising on social media. It is very hard to be creative. Like I find this for our cleaning company in Canada. I find it painful to make social media content, which is funny and ironic because that's what we do full time here. But I find it painful over there because I'm not there in person to be able to do it, and none of my staff want to do it. And so I either have to hire it out or employ one of my employees to do things like that. And I struggle from afar to be like creative with it because I'm in the business and I struggle to see what's interesting about it sometimes. And I think like from outside perspectives, they can go, oh, you could totally do this and this and this and this. Or like, why wouldn't you share this part about your business? And I'm like, oh yeah, but it's weird when I'm like in the grind of it and I, as the entrepreneur, I'm just trying to like make that business function, to think about like the interesting side of it is really hard. Because I'm like, is this interesting? I don't know. I just spent 2.5 months scrubbing toilets. My face was in dirt. I wasn't thinking about how awesome that would be to film it. I was thinking like, I have to train clients and I gotta get this work done and do scheduling and invoicing and make everybody happy and make some money out of this.
So I have a question for you then.
Okay.
Would you rather be the best or would you rather be known?
What is that? Like, oh, for like the cleaning company?
Yeah, just in business
Oh,
in
I'd
general.
way rather be known.
Yeah,
Way rather be known.
yeah.
Because even like my
Because it doesn't matter if you're the best.
no, like
if
our
you're not known.
cleaning company in Kelowna is organic. We do train our staff to like a really good standard, but I couldn't say that like you put us side by side with another excellent cleaner that would be better than them. But we do give better customer service. We're better well known. We have a great reputation. Like it gets us way more business than some other person that cleans better than we do. People just like us. Yeah, and we try to have a good high standard, but I can't say it's 100% every time. But what is 100% every time is our customer service.
Yeah, yeah.
But the cleaning is, you know, you get girls come in and out, you train them, and they screw up sometimes. So it is what it is. But it's kind of like the coffee shop right now. They're making really great advertising for us. The Tui and the girls are making up their own content, and they're having a lot of fun with it. And people are starting to know them more.
Yeah.
For what?
But like, maybe it's not like, the coffee shop's pretty good, but it's not the best in the world. But people will start coming more and more. They know about it more. That's more important. They come in, they get a decent coffee, and they go. It might not be like the top in Fiji. It's not like Coffee Hub or something. We're not Mana Coffee, and we're not trying to be like this luxury stop. We are in Sanganga, but we are trying to be known and get eyes on us.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's been good and bad, but like people talk.
But it's way better that if people come in and they actually know something about them,
Yeah.
rather than like feeling they come into a coffee shop and like it's just way better to walk in and it feels like home.
So we had a post the other day where our manager, Archie, was pretending to be illiterate. I didn't know how I felt about the post when it was going up,
Yeah, you
but I
ran
was
it by
like,
me.
I said, well, this is kind of an odd post. And John said, oh, the girls say it's funny. They think it's funny. Just let it ride. And then there was like a handful of negative with it, which was fine. And then I just thought it was really great. Archie like posted a comment because she felt, I had talked to her. I said, oh, thanks for the nice comment. She said, oh, I felt defensive of you guys. And I said, oh, don't worry about us. Like, we're totally fine. Like, you don't need to worry. But in her post, I really liked it because I've been telling them this for like a year. She said, like in the post, like, this is my and Vera's coffee shop. Like, it's our shop. And like, this provides for us. And I was like really happy because I've been telling them that for like a year. Like, this is not our shop. Like, if you guys don't want this job and like you don't want to work here, like, it'll shut down. This is your shop. Treat it like it's yours. It is yours. Like, we don't make money from it. It's your thing. And so if you're not responsible for it, it will either go up or down. And I like loved seeing that like she was like, yeah, it is ours. I'm like, yes. Like, good.
She owned it.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's great.
They said you guys were arguing a bunch today.
Yeah,
I'm looking at Tui behind the camera. Yeah.
What were you guys arguing about?
I just walked in. It's like, hi, hello. She's like, no, enough, enough of those videos. And I was like, hey, that's fine, that's fine. Like, it's good that you explained yourself on
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I pinned the comment.
Yeah.
I pinned it up. And she's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, it's fine. There'll be negative people. It's like, you just don't get our humor.
Yeah, there will be
And
negative.
it's good that you explained yourself because we did that. It's not like John and Steph. Like all the contents that we're doing at the coffee shop, all of our ideas, you, me,
Right.
Bara. So whatever people think, like badly or negative way, thinking like, oh, this is like, slave and all that. It's like they don't really get the whole picture behind it.
Yeah.
And
There was one person who commented on one of the last videos, and it was one of the first comments that came in, and she was like, "Get ready for all the haters, or not the
Yeah.
haters. Get ready for all of like the simps or something like this." I can't remember what she said. I was like, "That's so funny," because some people can see it coming from a mile away,
Well,
and some people
yeah.
are there like, I think she said, "I'm just here to see like all the
Yeah,
all the
she's
people
just
who don't
waiting
get it."
for it. Yeah, the joke that goes way over their head.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
And it's funny because I think a lot of people that feel anger towards it are literally not living in Fiji. Like I always kind of go and search some of the profiles. I'm not saying every single one of them, but I think a lot of people like go overseas and then they're like, "That's unjust," and you're like, "No, it's a joke that like the staff thought was funny," and like it is not maybe the most flattering thing on us, but like also like it was funny for them and funny and like you can't believe that she's the manager of the place. Like there's two of them, right? Like obviously she can read. How could she run the company if she couldn't read? Like that would be insane. So it's just kind of funny. That's satire, that's what they call it.
yeah.
That's the kind of humor. And it's okay. It's Fijian humor. Let's let it ride.
I think people just think there's like a white lady forcing a brown lady to make
No, they
content.
do.
Like,
They don't even blame you.
Oh.
They definitely just blame me. They're like,
Steph said, okay, what you're going to do, Archie, is act like you can't read. You're going to look like an idiot, okay?
yeah.
Or I'm not going to pay you.
Can you imagine going into the store and like being like, okay, you need to act like you're an imbecile. Like, oh, no. I'll be like, just smile. Hold the pizza. It's really funny. That's terrible. Yeah, we would never do that. Someone was saying, I was like messaging a few people, and I had said, oh no, like the staff make their own content.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry.
Yeah.
Like I was just messaging, like just to clarify, like they're all cool with it. And then some people were like, huh, they make their own content on your platform. It's like, well, we are all a team. Like it's.
Oh, you went really deep into the...
Oh, dude,
Into the
I always
comments.
when it gets bad, I'm always reading them. It doesn't like bother me. I just can't help myself but
Oh
read
my
it.
gosh.
What? What?
I can't even believe that Archie commented on that. I was like, oh.
Oh well, like you have to think about it. Me and you are pretty used to like a bit of a roller coaster, some good, some bad for comments. But like when you're new to that, and they're literally putting their creative spin on things and their like heart and soul and effort into making like ads for the shop. Like it's important to them, and then like people are roasting us over it. Like of course they would feel bad. Like they're very sweet human beings. They're not like they're gonna feel bad because it looks like
Yeah, that's true.
makes us look bad, which is not. I told them, don't worry about us. Like we're fine because it's not true. If it was true, then I would hide and feel ashamed. But I'm not. It's not true.
There's always just something behind somebody who gets angry at you online. That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, like they've obviously been treated poorly by an employer, or they've been treated poorly or have bad views on white people. Maybe I don't really know. There's got to be something in the background to
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, can't take it to heart. What? It's so deep in thought right now.
Pulang normally.
Oh, Norm Lee's there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ah, I haven't been on all the lives, but I feel like it's been a long ago since I heard that name.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Hi, Norm.
It says the toilet at Selangor police station was stolen. The cops have nothing to go on.
Wow.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay. The problem with Norm is that he was doing this before AI.
So
So,
true.
huh?
It's like Norm is.
Like most guys, I would be like, okay, that's AI, very funny. But the thing with Norm is he's been making terrible jokes before ChatGPT.
No, they're not terrible. They're my favorite kind.
AI learns from humor.
Yeah,
Oh,
AI learns
yeah.
from.
Yeah, Norm is educated AI. Yeah, about itself.
Human AI.
Yeah, human AI, exactly.
Do you know, it reminds me of my Uncle Eugene, my great uncle, my grandma's brother. He was always making puns. That was his style of humor, just like Norm. Very similar humor to Norm. And every time I would get together with him, he's just making run-on jokes like that. And then every single time they would go, "Ew, it's really punny."
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
it's just one of those things where you're just like, "Oh my gosh."
That's so
But
terrible.
he's passed away now, so it's nice to hear a little bit of that punny humor once in a while.
Stop it. Stop it.
John hates it when I say things like that. Sorry, honey.
Good question.
Okay,
Ask it.
what's the
From
question?
Phyllis. Phyllis?
Please.
Okay. What do you think of it's more politics. What do you think of what Trump is doing?
What do we think of what Trump's
How much
doing?
do you think it will affect Fiji?
How much do we think it will affect Fiji?
Well, Trump is a very successful business person, and so he's a master negotiator, is what he is. And so, I like. Do I agree with everything he does and says? No, but I think that what he's doing is trying to leverage fear because of the weight that the American economy carries in the world and the power of the US dollar. He'll use all of that to try to leverage as much as he can for his own people. And so, to answer your question, I don't think that it will affect Fiji that much,
No, I don't either.
because like the majority, there's no tariff on tourism.
Yeah, that's what I
And
was going to say.
So, yeah, like sugar and stuff, I don't think most of that goes to the United States anyways. But it really depends, like the indirect consequences for Fiji will be if it has a really big negative effect on the U.S. economy, which affects U.S. travelers to Fiji.
Yeah.
And so that's about as far as I think. I think, yeah, Fiji's GDP is probably that of Nebraska's or even less. So, like,
Well,
Yeah.
and because Fiji relies so heavily on tourism for their income, I think the majority of tourists are not coming from the U.S. anyway. You get a smattering of them. I think the majority is coming from Australia and New Zealand, and a few other closer countries. So I don't think it will actually impact the tourist industry. Obviously, you have like a few exporters with agriculture that are exporting to the U.S. That's going to be a little bit hard on them, but agriculture is not our main thing in Fiji. Yeah. So, and like we already bring in so much low quality stuff from China. You're not getting that from the U.S. for resale. So I don't see what, like personally, obviously maybe there's a few things from like grocery stores. So if you like bringing and going to the grocery store and buying like imported items like I do, that's going to go way up. So I'm going to be buying less of those because the price of that is going to be hard on us. So you'll probably see less like few fancy things coming in, but all the basics that everybody has, I don't think it'll change that much. I think in Fiji it'll be the people that are on like the upper market of income that will feel it. I think there will be like some weird thing that like they get that they like to purchase or they like to do that's being imported that will be really expensive, and either they'll have the money and go it's worth it or they'll stop buying those things. But I think like the average income of a Fijian, I bet it might impact it slightly, but I don't think it's going to be crazy because a lot of things that we bring in from India, like all our spices, Thailand, there's a lot of places in Indonesia that we bring stuff from as well.
yeah.
Get a few
The only before that, I think the only thing that was confusing about what Trump was doing was that he was basing his tariffs
Oh, yeah.
on trade deficits instead of what he was saying were he was trying to do like counter tariffs basically on countries that had tariffs on US products. And so he was basing it on but the calculations they were doing were basically based on trade deficits. So there was some countries that have like the US imports how can I explain this? So obviously like say a country like Madagascar or something takes way more American product than it gives to America. So there's a huge deficit there. So when you calculate, and then there's some countries like say probably like I don't know a country like Singapore or something like that that has an opposite trade deficit. So so the U.S. looks very favorably on some countries like that, and so it just doesn't. The calculation just didn't make sense.
Yeah,
for
but
a
like
lot
as
of
a
things.
salesperson, like if Trump is such a good negotiator, he's gonna put out the worst looking proposition that other countries are doing to them. How dare you give me a 60% tariff on our country, but we're gonna be generous back to you and only do half of that and give you a 30%. So he's positioning them to look favorable and everybody else to look like jerks,
Yeah.
and that they tariff the U.S. so much and that the U.S. is sick of taking that and blah, blah, blah.
Like he
So-
would look at Fiji and be like, look at how much Fiji water we buy, because that's all considered an import.
Yeah.
And look at how many Americans go over to Fiji and spend money in Fiji. And what do you guys give to us?
Yeah.
What do you guys bring from America? And so then we'll punish you based on that. But it's like Fiji doesn't have a population. Our
Yeah.
our earnings, like our average earning per capita is probably like 1/100th of what an average American would earn. Like the daily wage or the annual
Yeah.
salary of somebody in Fiji is way less. And so it just becomes an unfair
Well,
calculation.
what I'm hoping is that they have done it across the board to the whole world, so they're not looking like they're only targeting certain countries, so they don't make all-out war.
Well, he's
with
paused
certain-
all the tariffs now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah,
haven't been
I
updated.
think that was this morning.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, this morning or last night, he paused all the tariffs. And so,
Because it's a negotiation. Fear
except for
tactic.
on China, which is what everybody thought. Or not, what a lot of people thought this was all about anyways, was like, I'll tariff the world, but really I'm going to just tariff China.
China.
What were the points though?
Yeah. So yes, Moji says it only affects Fiji water. The tariff is taxed on important goods. We don't export much to US, but Fiji water.
Fiji water. Yeah, it will
Yeah,
affect
Fiji.
Fiji water.
GDP is 5 billion since last year.
Wow. Well, and I think, I don't know all of the money situation with Fiji water. If they collect the money in Fiji and have to pay taxes here, I would hope so. Because a lot of these corporations have offshore accounts and they avoid paying all of the. Oh! Jacko just dropped on the roof. Sorry. I was trying not to scream there.
Oh, I almost ran up my Sulu.
So
You so? Yeah, almost ran home.
Anyway, you hope that Fiji water pays taxes in Fiji so the government gets to collect that. You know, a lot of these companies have different, like American
Yeah,
bank
well, of course they
accounts
pay
or-
taxes in Fiji, but the majority of the income is offshore. It's not in Fiji.
Yeah, and then they probably don't claim that always. Not all these companies, most of these companies have different companies like the hotels.
Yeah, but this is totally different.
Yeah, but Fiji water probably has it set up like that.
What?
Like different accounts or different businesses under the Fiji Water Corporation, so
Well,
they don't
no,
have to
Fiji
pay
Water is
taxes
a
fully here.
subsidiary of the Wonderful Company. And the Wonderful Company is what owns the majority of the pistachio farms on the western seaboard in
Of
the
where?
United States.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
So Fiji Water is like a small part of a big company.
yeah.
Yeah. Wool,
So
everybody.
they probably run it through
You want
that
some?
company. No.
Yeah, have one. Just for the live.
Okay, Bula. Really, I hate drinking coffee.
Wow, because Karoy mixed it, eh? Soapy hands. He has soapy hands. If you taste soap,
Dude, if you didn't wash your hands,
didn't wash your
I'm
hands.
gonna die.
he washed it.
Ugh.
Antisya?
Yeah.
Blame Antisya?
James says, unfortunately, it will affect a lot of bigger countries. Therefore, it's the smaller countries like Fiji that feel the ripple effect.
We'll feel the ripple effect?
Yeah.
And possibly, like, I think we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. If it's on pause, maybe this is not going ahead. It's really hard to know when someone makes, like, a big power play like this, what their actual intentions are and, like, what they're thinking, because Trump is obviously a smart man. He has motives behind what he's doing, and people can't guess them.
Yeah.
So we're going to just have to wait and see and hope for the best, I think. And, like, honestly, I don't know. It's good to look into politics. You can't control it. So I think it's sometimes you just got to let it be and wait and see what happens to you. Try to make some money in the meantime. Right?
Stop
Money,
yourself.
money, money.
Fiji water is not locally owned, eh?
No.
No,
No.
unfortunately. And yet,
Not unfortunately.
No. I heard, and okay, I hope this is not true, but when we first started figuring out names for the company, we got told that Fiji Water has the rights to the name Fiji. So most products that you export or do have to be
Oh,
Fijian.
pure Fiji.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
You don't believe anymore?
Because
Okay,
somebody
so-
also told me that Waka was not available. Like you couldn't
Trademark it?
trademark it or name your company
But
Waka.
you can. Well, obviously you can.
Because he came up to me and he was like, "You're the guy that stole the name."
Stole it.
I'm like, "Stole the name?"
You're like, I don't know.
I'm like, "There's probably a lot of people that want that name now, though."
Oh, well, there's a few that
So I
are-
never let that
I've-
registration go.
No, never.
Yeah.
I've already seen like a few with like waka something, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's just like a nice form of flattery. Just let it ride.
Exactly. Yeah. I have a list of questions for you here.
Okay, let's go for it.
Okay. These are some of the questions that we worked through last night. But we didn't get to all these.
Okay.
Okay. What's something you believe about yourself that no one else sees?
Like this is such a hard like. Oh. Oh, that
Yeah, it's
was
right in the middle.
really painful. Actually, you really
No,
thumped
still there.
me. You need to like lightly tap. It's gonna be like a
No,
smack.
then you miss it.
Not like a thump. What's something I believe about myself?
Okay, how about this? When?
I don't know.
What is that a hard question?
Yeah.
Okay. How about this? When do you feel the most insecure?
Ooh.
Be honest.
I'm going to be. I think like in a big room of people. Not like because no, okay, like in a big room of people when everybody has somebody to talk to and I don't have anyone to talk to. I feel uncomfortable. Like I feel squirmish or like squeamish. Like I'm
Like
like
if there's 5 people in a group and then like 2 people are talking, you're the 5th one out. You're
no, like bigger than that.
Oh.
Like that is small to me. So like let's say if there was like 20, 30 people. And there was
Oh.
like a crowd of people, and I'm standing there and I have no one to talk to. And you know, like at that moment, you're just like, all I'm gonna do is pull up my phone and scroll. I think everybody does this because you're like,
Oh.
"Ugh," like this is awkward. I hate that. Like I feel like so intensely uncomfortable, and I also hate just scrolling.
I resist that urge as hard as I
don't
can.
like going on my phone because I feel like it makes me look like even more of a loser. So I don't even know what to do. Like I'm like if I. Yeah, because you go, ooh, I'm uncomfortable. If I'm just scrolling, it gives me something to do and I can pretend like I'm not uncomfortable. But when I see people do it, I'm like, I kind of like, I'm judgy. I'm like, they're uncomfortable. So like, I don't want to go do that because I'm like, I don't want to look uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable, but I'm
I've
just going to
enjoyed
pretend.
becoming like the psycho that doesn't pull out their phone when everybody else is like,
You would love that.
no, it's, what? Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Yes, you got kicked in the
What'd you
face
do?
with a soccer ball. I saw it.
It's not about that.
What is
What
it?
happened?
I had a headache when I started playing.
What? I don't think you've drank enough water, dude.
Go have some water, yeah.
Go drink some water, kiddo.
Go have some water, and then the bottle of Tylenol's up there. Just fill up your hand and
Okay,
take a
hey,
handful.
he doesn't know where it is. Eliki, go drink some water and have some rest, and I will get you something later. My gosh, wow, how dare you? If it's just like John thinks he's funny and he's not.
You're really like, I can't believe you said that.
Yeah, because that's murder. To your child. Everybody should be outraged.
Just to be clear, there's no bottle of Tylenol
Yeah.
anywhere that's
No, there is
accessible
no
to kids.
bottle of Tylenol, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even know what Tylenol is. He would have to probably say Panadol.
I would challenge everybody though, and two of you should try it. The next time where like somebody, this is the best, okay? This is the best situation that
my
you guys got to do.
gosh.
you're with somebody and it happens, if you're a Fijian, it happens to you every day. Somebody will be talking to you and they'll get a phone call. They'll answer the phone and you just sit there and just wait for them. And just wait for them until they're done. And don't go on your phone. Don't do anything. Just sit there and wait. It's like, it makes you think about all the things that are wrong in the universe and how you want to escape the situation. It is the worst feeling ever. We chatted. I didn't really have much to say. And then it kind of got quiet. And then I was like, pulled up my phone, started scrolling. And he looks at me and he's like, so I get it, Jonathan. He's like, you know, the old, like, I'm uncomfortable and I have nothing to say, so I'm just going to pull up my phone.
Someone called you out.
Oh, totally called me out. And I was like, from that moment.
Oh, I don't like when people do that.
I was like, that moment stuck out to me so hard because I was like, as I was on my phone, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's just called my bluff. Like, that's exactly what
Do you know what?
I'm
Sucks to
doing.
be you, though. You have people in your life that do that to you. I don't have people in my life that do that. Thank goodness. I would like
Everybody needs people like that.
die a
Don't
little
you?
inside. I don't want that. I already know some things are rude. I don't want someone to say that to my face. I would die like 1,000 deaths.
Okay, I want somebody who's if there's somebody listening to this, just to go out this week and do that to somebody. Huh?
What I don't like is people involving me in their phone calls.
Oh, people involving you in
Involving you in
your
phone
phone calls?
calls?
Never had that happen. I
What do you
don't think.
mean?
Oh, like, well, the private conversation or
Okay.
like over the phone, and I'm like sitting there. What I've started doing now, is just excuse myself from
Yeah.
the place. You know, like, okay, sorry, I gotta take this phone call and walk away.
Oh,
Like
okay.
when you get a phone call?
Yeah,
Well, do
some
they
people just
put
like
you on?
something
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Put it on loudspeaker.
Oh, they like put you on. They put the phone call on loudspeaker, and then you like have to be a part of it. You're like, that's awkward.
Is that a thing? Is that a Fiji thing though?
Yeah.
Like John and I are very intentional. Like if I put John on loudspeaker, if he does that to me, we always say, "Oh, by the way, you're on loudspeaker,"
Right.
because like I think it's rude to the other person on the other line that doesn't know someone else is there.
I might have said something.
And like,
yeah,
what if they
exactly.
say
I want you
something
so bad
private?
right now.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god.
You're like, okay, so I didn't know what's going this way.
Right.
Inappropriate, best.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa, whoa,
Calm down.
whoa.
Okay, off the line and. That's nice. Thanks for your call.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know what's something that's made me feel really uncomfortable in life? I didn't when I was a teenager. I think especially guys say this to me, which made me kind of
Which guys?
just guys in my youth group or guys
that?
I was
What's
talking
that?
to. Oh yeah,
That video game?
I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, when I used to talk to people, like, and I think I obviously still do this, like I keep eye contact with people while we're having a conversation. And I've had like multiple people say to me, wow, your eye contact's really intense. And then after that, we're still talking. Do I still look at you? Do I not look at you in the eye? Like, should I glance away? Like, I don't know. It's respectful. I'm looking at you while we talk. Is that weird to you? And like, I don't know. That made me deeply uncomfortable. Like I was like, should I asked a few people, should I stop? And they're like, no, it's just intense. And I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently it is. So don't hold eye contact for too long. People will think you're.
Blink.
No, it's not about blinking. It's that like most of the time, like if I'm talking to you, Tui, I'll look you in the eye and talk to you. A lot of people when they talk, they're like, yeah, and so like last week when I was like doing things, like I totally, like they won't look at your face. I don't know why. When I talk to you, I look at your face. I don't normally like wander off with my eyeballs, but I have been noticing the
How's
last
my
year.
eye contact?
It's fine.
Okay.
I've been noticing the last year though, a lot of people, they'll be saying a story, but they're not looking at the people they're talking to. They're kind of like glancing around, like they're shifty or like they can't keep eye contact, they're insecure. So I'm kind of going, oh, I think that's an insecurity thing where I am not an insecure person. I have always had an abundance of confidence, and so keeping eye contact, to me, I've always been taught it's rude not to look someone in the eye. But now I do question sometimes, like I try to look away a little bit more. Like
Really?
yeah, I do purposely because I feel like I'm like too much sometimes. I don't know, but it made me insecure. Like now I'm like try to look away. Like I don't want to stress you out. Can't handle it. I'm kind of like okay. Don't take this too offensively, but I find that the Indian men in Canada, they stare into your soul, and sometimes it's talking.
Really?
Yeah, they won't stop staring at you, and sometimes I feel like I want to look
Because
at
it's so
them.
secreted. Sorry.
I want to look at them and go like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Me in conversation. What? I don't know. Like literally, like my throat's already numb. This stuff always like gets me. Like my tongue's kind of numb. We're podcasting.
It's good. Might loosen you up. Let it slow down a little bit and enjoy the moment. Now that it's dark and the mood has been set.
Oh, it's so gross. I don't know how people do this daily.
The question is, do you enjoy, actually I don't enjoy the taste of kava.
I find it so hard to get
Yeah.
down.
I just,
And this one is like hefty, guys. Like it's like thick. It's like the other kava I've had is a lot weaker. This one is like, it's got some starch in it. It's like you mixed it with cassava, you know?
what I like about it when we have it, which is usually just like on a live or something like that, is that it determines the mood of the event. It's like if
Why?
you pull it, no, just like if you pull out the kava, like we're hanging out. Like
Okay.
all guards are down, we're chilling. But until that point, it's like, in this culture, it's like, okay, so what's the plan?
Oh.
What are we doing?
We're just sitting and
Yeah.
staring and making eye contact for hours on end. Okay, I have not sit on the ground in 2.5 months, and oh, dude, it's rough.
I have another question for you.
Okay,
What's something you hope your kids will never inherit from you?
maybe 2 things. Like I have like a heavy procrastination. Like when I'm like in procrastination mode, it's intense. Till I like force myself to do it. Things that like set me off so hard. Maybe it's just because like I don't know. Me and you have like worked really hard to figure out our communication style. Where like I don't have good communication with those other people, so we don't hear each other properly, you know. And then it makes me like angry because I'm like, how are you misunderstanding me so hard,
Right.
or I misunderstand them so hard, and I'm like, ugh, I don't know. It just like sets me off. Where I don't feel like I get that with you, that much. Like we still fight, and I still have a temper, but it's not like
Like that.
it's not like that. It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And like we fight semi-regularly, but it's not like that much. It's like little irritants, is not so much like fights, you know?
I have another question for you.
Okay, well, that's a lot of questions.
Do you enjoy doing this?
Doing what?
This?
Like podcasting?
Yeah.
Or like living in Fiji or what? Like
No,
what,
okay,
what are
sorry,
we talking about
podcasting.
here? Podcasting?
Doing this live right now. Do you enjoy this?
Once I'm into it, I don't mind it. Obviously, you kind of have to force me sometimes, like if it's on like a regular basis and we don't get a break from it. Mostly because I'm like, I don't want to get into it and like feel uncomfortable. Ooh, you know, like this is a great analogy, or like how, you know how I told you like in a group of people, if I have no one to talk to, or like there's nothing to say,
Yeah.
It makes me uncomfortable. I feel the same way on the live. Like if we have nothing to talk about, or you're making me feel awkward, because sometimes you do that. Like you like to, I don't know, troll me to a point where like, I'm like, this is weird. Then I'm like, I hate podcasting because I don't like.
Yeah, we went through that a few months ago.
Did
You're
we?
like, or like after one that
Oh,
we did,
yeah.
you're like, yeah, I didn't enjoy that.
Like never do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, you made me feel so awkward. And I think on the other side of this, I go, ooh, there's a lot of people. So I am in a crowd. I don't feel alone. So that same like awkwardness in a crowd relates here to me now because I go, oh, if I don't have anything to say or it's uncomfortable or just like sitting here awkwardly, I feel like a deep ick. Like, let me out here.
The one thing that I struggle with, I'm just gonna be honest with you,
Okay.
is that what's hard is I feel like you don't reciprocate the conversation when we do this kind of stuff.
Well, like the questions?
Yeah.
Well, you told me you had a list of questions for me.
No, but sometimes I feel like you don't ever have any questions. We're just gonna work this out live.
Oh, great. That's great.
Is it because you're like thinking about what you're saying?
No, like in the
Or-
beginning, like when we talk.
'Cause it is weird.
I ask you questions, and then you just go, oh, don't like that, and then you just stop talking, and then I have to keep talking because I feel uncomfortable because you go, not talking anymore. And so when you do that in the beginning,
So why would we do this if it's uncomfortable? We'll come back to that.
oh, okay.
Like why do we do this if it's a struggle? I'm not trying to be salesy. Like, tell them why we do the podcast.
Well, I
Like,
think
why do we believe? Why do you want to do this?
Well, I think like it's good for people to get to know our personalities on like a deeper level because I think a reel only shows one minute side of you or one minute thought, and I think like podcasts or lives or whatever give people like an in-depth view of who you are.
Do you
as a
think we have
person.
something unique to offer to people that makes it worth like them listening? Because I wrestle with that.
I think to each person it's different. Like let's say for my mom, if she listens to us, she'd go boring. She just would. Love you, Mom. It's fine that you think it's boring. Like my friend Leah listens to us all the time, and her feedback is like, "Oh, I love listening to your guys' podcast. It's so great. I feel like I'm in the room with you. Sometimes I
I'm
learn
not supposed
something."
to say names, remember?
Oh yeah, but like that's great. Like either reaction is fine. Like it's not gonna be for everybody. That's what I told my mom when she went, like she didn't say it's boring. I'm kind of putting that, but she was like, I don't really understand like the point of the lives. And I was like, Mom, it's fine. It's literally not for you. You're not the audience then.
Yeah.
And like that's totally cool. Like don't listen to John's lives because you're not gonna be interested. Go watch the YouTube video that has your grandchildren in it. Maybe you would like that better, right? Like not every platform or way of communicating is gonna be good. Okay, so now that what do you think?
What did I think about?
What you just asked me. Why do we do this? Do you even want to continue?
No, because sometimes it feels like my reward system is the view,
Okay.
and
Shouldn't be.
yeah, no, it should be. I'm not. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, just to be clear, like Stephanie said, it shouldn't be. But it's weird for people to sit down and not people for a couple to sit down and talk it out like this. Like we'll talk, but there's often long pauses, and
Oh, like in our day-to-day.
in our day-to-day,
Yeah.
or even in the evenings, we'll be, laying down, reading, or like doing something, and it's like, we're not trying to keep people entertained.
Yeah. That's true.
And so I think that's the hard part about podcasting. I hate that word even. Or doing live conversations as a couple.
My
and
gosh.
that's,
Does it like the word podcasting?
well, it's just such a like thing that like everybody has to have a podcast now.
Well, you're one of those people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different.
Why? How is it different for you?
No, I mean like it's a unique thing to have to like keep on a conversation.
Oh, with your spouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and
but I
so-
almost do it because like it's good for me and you to talk.
Yeah. Well, I think, like, let's say, like, today we're doing our podcast while you're doing your live. You have a lot more planned. Like, you guys take a look at the news and you take a look at other things. And sometimes, like, when I jump on here with you, I literally have nothing. Like, I'm like, okay, 2 minutes before I sat down, I was chopping potatoes and listening to, like, a fantasy audiobook. So I was not, like,
Ooh, fantasy.
ooh, I like sci-fi, and I like those kind of things. Anyway, I think, like, it's just hard when I come on here because I kind of just go, okay, let's just, like, wing it. That's my style, and you guys have more of a plan. And so sometimes I just let you lead, and you ask me questions, and I'm like, okay, you have a lot planned, you have a lot to say, and you'll give your own analogy a lot of the times.
Right.
And so I don't ask you because I go, oh, I'll just follow. John has a plan. We're not winging it. I'm just going to let him do his plan.
What is the why then behind why we do this? Like, if it's not for the views. This one?
Yeah. If it's not for the views, like, well, I think, like, it's just, okay, here's what it is. It's not necessarily not for the views. It's just, like, that shouldn't be your reward system. Your reward system should be long-term. So in the immediate, what if you get 10 views? Are you going to feel like it's not worth it? Yes, you are. You're going to be like, I should never do this again. If you, the long term, you have a long-standing fan base that knows you, that gets to know you, your inner thoughts. You have people that are along for the ride with you, that can ask you questions. That's like the long-term goal. But if you look at the immediate, and you only had 10 views, you would give up. So that's why I'm saying the views shouldn't matter. That's not like the instant reward. You have to look at long-term reward. Why? What do you think?
No, I guess for me it's like I hope that somebody like our friend would be listening to this and be like, oh, that's something I could ask my wife
Yeah.
or my husband. Maybe if there's just one person that would hear a question or like maybe the way that we talk to each other,
Well,
that would be something that they could take back, because this is not really a marketable thing because we're not doing it to be viral. You know?
Too many mosquitoes.
A lot of
Yeah.
mosquitoes. Yeah.
Well, and I think this kind of stuff just opens up more opportunity. Like, me and you don't always podcast. Sometimes you have guests come on. I think, like, that's my preference. I really like me and you having conversations, and this one's easy for me because we haven't done this in quite a long time. It's when we're in, like, the long-term rhythm of it, and, like, it's been a really dry week, and I've literally just been cooking and doing laundry, and, like, that's so boring to me. And then we're like, let's have a stimulating conversation, and I'm like, I don't know, like, I feel numb. I don't feel like there's much to talk about. Sometimes you just feel like that. Sometimes it's hard to, like, think of something interesting. So I think, like, for me, I like having guests. Like, even I haven't had the opportunity, which I would love more to, like, interviewing other people. Like, we did that one with Eddie and Sachiko, and you interviewed Eddie, and then I interviewed Sachiko. Like, it's so easy to talk to people that you don't talk to all the time. You know, they're interesting, they're unique, they have different perspectives. You know, you say things that you're, like, curious about. Where with you, like, I spend day in, day out with you. I know what you think about a lot of things. And so sometimes it's like, if we have done this week after week, I go, oh, it can be a little painful sometimes, depending on where the conversation goes, or, you know, if you're, like, vibing, one of you is off.
Yeah, sometimes you just roll with it.
Yeah, sometimes it's great. And
I listen
sometimes
to a
you
lot
troll
of
me
comedian.
too hard.
Yeah,
and
I think the trolling comes from listening to a lot of comedian podcasts and how they have fun with each other.
But
and
you're
that-
married to me. We're not bros. That's the problem.
Yeah.
John wants us to be on here like bros, and, like, I troll him, he trolls me. But after, we're literally married. Like, you're going to be angry at me, or I'm going to be angry at you. It is not the same. Like, you can make fun of your buddy and walk away and, like, that was a great time. You can't necessarily do that with your wife or your husband. Like, you know the line, and if you cross it, you're like, ooh. Like, I've done that once on a podcast, I, like, crossed the line a little bit. Like, I knew it was something that you'd be, like, not happy about. And,
really?
like, I remember my stomach sinking, being like, oh, this is going to suck later. And then it was not great later. I just remember
funny.
at the moment being like, I
he was
wish
bad.
I
He was
could
bad.
roll
remember
that
it?
back. Yeah.
He was like not feeling the part.
Yeah. He's not feeling it.
Steph was trying to keep the conversation.
Yeah, I was-
Oh, that night.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
okay,
trying
okay.
hard to like keep it going, and it was just like so painful. And then we had like the big fight later. It was just like, yeah, that was great. Knew that was
Do you
coming.
remember what the fight was
no,
about?
I can't. Most of our fights, I don't remember what they're about. They're about something stupid.
Good.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
medicine is working.
Yeah. The tincture that he gave me. 'Cause most of the time, women don't forget things.
I don't know.
So yeah, if it was, it's true. Go on, don't pretend. And look, everybody, I've been doing better. I've been asking John what he thinks. I'm trying to learn from his criticism. No? Yes?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, here.
Well,
Can't acknowledge it. I'm trying here, people.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good. Guys, this is just us sitting here in Fiji. The rain is
the
falling.
rain.
And
And all
I
I,
like-
want
I
to
like
do
long
is
form-
put my neck fan on, but
Oh.
it'd be way too
Yeah, way
loud.
too loud.
Sorry.
I love long form conversations because that's what I consume in most of my free time. Like when some people would be listening to music, I listen to
Podcast.
podcasts. And so I would like to create a platform where people feel like they could come and have an honest and open conversation. I think that's why I do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun.
And I think it's good in Fiji. I think a lot of our audience is predominantly Fijian, and I think something that people here struggle with is having open conversations and sharing their feelings or talking to their spouses in a real way. And I think like it's a good example for people to be raw and honest. I think maybe if they're watching this as a couple, it'll bring up conversation between them. You know, even if we're fighting or you guys can tell we're off, maybe it's something you guys have an issue with. That's also great. That's a good thing. Like, we'll be fine. We'll sort it out. We'll yell at each other later and say sorry.
There's nothing going on right now, just to be clear.
No.
Okay, you have a question?
Huh?
You have a question?
no, it's just
Oh.
Benny's in the chat. Your
Oh.
cousin.
Oh, from America?
Yeah,
Who's
Yes.
Ben?
he's saying hello.
Hey. Thanks for listening.
Okay,
Too
do
bad
you
you
have
can't
a...
see it. I have a long quote that I want you to listen to. It's not actually that long. Okay.
I
Tell
have
me what
a
you think
very
about this.
short attention span, so John always does this to me. Listen to this long
Well, just to
song
prepare
and
you,
listen to
'cause,
this
like-
long quote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of stimulating conversation, right? Because I write down many quotes
Yeah.
in my
John's
list
got
of
the longest scroll of quotes of life. Sorry.
Dude,
And the
They're
weird thing
so
is you
good.
actually like remember them in like your life situation. You're like, oh, there's this quote. Like,
oh yeah.
stop.
I pulled out one by something Nesbitt the other day out of this list. I was like,
Yeah.
yes, it's
John
working.
loves his quote list.
It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again. Because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. But who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows, in the end, the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat.
It's so long. So wordy. You love it. I would literally have taken that
Theodore
and been
Roosevelt.
like, people that work hard and try hard, even if they win or lose, at least ultimately, they've gone through an amazing experience. The end.
Dang it.
Hello, everybody. You're welcome. Wrap it up. Like, literally so long. I was like, you were halfway through, and I went, Okay, we already have like the point down, and now the rest
That's
of this.
the problem with you. It's like you are a skip reader, and so which means that she doesn't read full paragraphs. So just read like a few words through the paragraph and just assume what it means. And so when I, as a normal man, am explaining my
It's people you read like that is like so long and like it's not inspiring to me if it's so wordy. I'm like, okay, get to the point.
I can't remember where I read that now.
But like the funny thing is we're so opposite. Like you love how long it is. Like you're stoked that it's long. You're like, he has so many describing words and details and like tried to emphasize his point multiple times, and I'm like, yeah, sure did. I don't know. I'm like, let's get to the point. Yeah. I do agree though. Okay, I was listening to a reel quickly with Grant Cardone, and he was saying, most millionaires, they have
Billionaire Scientologist.
Yeah, anyway, he was saying like the billionaires and the millionaires, they know the system of getting rich. So a lot of them go bankrupt, and then a lot of them get even richer the second time around because they've figured out the formula. And when you were talking about your quote, I was thinking like, yeah, like it's like people like that, like if it's successful, the struggle, because the struggle's not always successful, but if it is successful, then eventually like you figure out how to be successful, and then you can repeat it and repeat it. And then if you're not successful, you got to keep trying and struggling and redo so you can figure out how to be successful. And it's okay to fail because you will one day learn what success looks like or succeed in something because you failed so many times that ultimately, if you work hard enough, you're going to succeed at something.
Yeah.
You have a drink coming for you.
Oh, no, this one is for you.
No.
You
I
missed
think
the
this
last one.
might be my last.
Don't be a
I have
pansy.
to work at 2 a.m., hey?
I thought you took tomorrow off.
Well, we're not going fishing anymore.
gonna work now?
So now I'm working.
Yeah.
So-
Why? What did somebody say?
No, it's just Benny, your cousin,
Yeah.
best friend. It's like just saying hello, and yeah, he's watching him. Yeah.
Me and Ben and Eliki used to be the best of friends in the village. And so, Eliki, for those of you who don't know, is my cousin brother who was murdered. And then that's who we named our son after. And so, yeah, we were close, all in kind of like the same age group, all had the same dick jokes. And
I like how that's brotherly bonding. Oh my gosh.
yeah, I mean, all the antics of younger teenage boys. It was just taken away, I guess.
Okay, so out of your life, you had said the thing that you like, one of your first things that you were talking about, is there a time in your life that you look back on and go like, oh, those were the days? Is that like the
Yeah, that was the that's what I had said as my answer last night was
okay.
I didn't realize it at the time because I think I'm a person that's so looking into the future and trying to strive for the next thing that I don't enjoy the moment a lot.
Okay.
But looking back, realizing that it's pretty sweet, like having cheap rent and just going longboarding, sitting downtown.
No, I'm talking about Fiji, hun.
Oh, what do you mean?
I'm talking about like your cousins. When you look back at spending time
yeah.
with them, like was
Oh.
that the golden days? Because obviously, like you don't fully have great memories of us when we were married and young. Like I'm not saying that's bad. We had a fantastic 5 years of
Oh,
marriage,
gosh,
and
yeah.
so like I think both of us have a lot of great memories. You just have like a tainted view on it, and I have like a very like rose-colored glasses view on it, which is
Right.
fine. But like with your cousin, like would that be the time of your life that you were carefree? I feel like that is like the one time in your life that like
Yeah, maybe.
you must have been.
Yeah, because I used to come to the village on school holidays, and me and Eliki, Ben, I would come here with $50 for one and a half months, and that $50 would last me for 6 weeks, and I felt like the richest man in the world.
You probably were at the time. It's a lot of money.
Huh?
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. I come over here, rent movies, go buy like a gallon of benzene at the time. So as everybody called it, benzene for the generator. Go rent the movie, 1 gallon benzene, come back, watch until the generator like dies. Yeah, those were good times. Simpler times, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of your cousin,
Yeah.
that's your cousin, the Ruby that flew from here to sponsor the boys. The balls and the
Ooh.
pin.
Oh, really? Oh.
Oh, because you weren't supposed to know.
Yeah.
Well, until
Yeah, he was like, hey, don't let anybody know yet.
nice. Wow. Thank you, Ben. Man.
Oh, that's
Okay, I was like racking my brain. I did not think it was Ben.
Oi.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's a good surprise.
That was cool. So there's a YouTube video, guys, where the boys go and Tui and Karoy go buy some gears, water bottles, rugby balls, equipment for the boys. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate that. And it's just so the nature of what you did and have done has been very much appreciated, and all the gear is in good hands. It's just so the nature of things in Fiji that something starts and then doesn't continue. And so right now we're in a stage where like the village rugby team that was like getting so much steam and like looked like it was gonna be such a good thing. It's
On
just like,
pause.
yeah, not happening right now.
But Croy, sitting over there, is going to make it happen again, right, Croy? He's got new boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same time you got new boots and no rugby
Dude,
team.
you got new boots.
He's got boots now.
It was really funny.
But
And we were picking out rugby boots, and I was like, you were like getting those, the ones you gave to Croy, and they're like white with pink or whatever. And I was like, white? Like, those things after one game are going to be red.
Yeah, whatever.
Fine.
The light.
the mud, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red mud, eh? Then,
Well, they're kind of orange, so I was like, you actually won't be able to tell.
Yeah, they're
Like-
like not pink stripes, but like, what is that called? Like fluorescent, like I want
Yeah,
to say
fluorescent
like,
orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway. Depends on your color blindness. I think they're pink. But anyway,
Thank you,
I
Ben.
gotta wrap up for the night. Thank you, Ben, for doing that for the boys. I gotta go make dinner because otherwise everybody's gonna starve. So we should probably end the podcast here. You can keep going with the live if you want.
We're going to keep going with live? What do you think?
yeah. I just need
A few minutes?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna wrap up. This was our podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Wow.
John's gonna continue.
Just so you guys know, this was our podcast, and
I'm out.
I'm out.